Crypto Battle.
Before we start, this is not financial advice. I'm not even wearing pants right now. One strategy that altcoin speculators can't seem to resist: buying cheap altcoins, and lots of them. There are literally thousands of cheap altcoins, but many of these coins have a limited future in terms of, well, everything. They're so far down on this list, no one has the time to scroll down that far. I got things to do, like be sad about coronavirus. Cryptocurrencies don't really have fundamentals, but there are some good benchmarks that'll give you an idea for how good a crypto is. Things like speed, features, the community, right? Like cryptos are like Quibi. Without users, they're as useless as Quibi. Toward the top of the list are three cryptos that fit the bill for affordable, but also have decent growth potential: Ripple, Cardano, and Stellar. So let's pit these coins against each other in a series we call Crypto Battle. So there should be a cool animation. Is that cool? Let's start with XRP. It's the oldest of the three and the most established. Beginning at Ripple's all-time high tells a lot of the story. On January 4th, 2018, Ripple's price hit an all-time high of $3.31, meaning that Ripple's executive chairman, Chris Larsen, was worth a whole ton of money. I mean, this guy had like 5 billion XRP. For many looking at Ripple's current price, less than 1/10 its peak, it can seem an appealing buy. I mean, if you had 5 billion of these things, you could finally buy that giant water slide. Consider Ripple's history. Its origins date back to 2005. Yeah, before Satoshi, there was Ripple Pay. It began as a PayPal competitor. In 2011, Judd McCaleb, a Bitcoin pioneer and founder of Mt. Gox, joined the Ripple team. In 2012, McCaleb brought in aforementioned Chris Larsen. And in 2013, Ripple came out with XRP, the token anyone can trade today. At XRP's outset, Ripple created about 100 billion XRP, and the Ripple company kept about 80 billion of them. Chris Larsen got 9.5 billion XRP, and McCaleb got 6 billion. Sure, early Bitcoiners did get lots of Bitcoin, but that was by mining Bitcoin. This was totally different. This was a completely centralized distribution of coins. A group of crows is called a murder. A group of Ripple employees is called a pre-mine. Some would say, relax, XRP army. Speaking of some though, some would say that Ripple is not a true cryptocurrency. XRP was never mined. It was created out of thin air, just like dollars in your Venmo account or actual US dollars, or that weird smell that lingers when you've only been on the computer for like 12 hours. There's no proof of work. There's no proof of stake. There's really just proof of ownership. And the ownership is mainly in the hands of Ripple and Ripple Brass. Ripple is centralized, non-distributed, and really in no meaningful sense a cryptocurrency. Okay, fine, it has a blockchain of sorts, but Venmo logs all your transactions too. In full honesty, that's just my opinion, and what do I know? I sold 10 Bitcoin in 2014, and I'll never forgive myself for it. And I'm no XRP hater. Relax, XRP army. Please do not dox me. The thing is, there are serious strengths to Ripple's approach. A BitMEX blog on the Ripple story says, "There is nothing wrong with centralized systems. Centralization makes systems easier to construct, more efficient, faster, cheaper to run, more effective at stopping double spends, and easier to integrate into other systems. And most digital money systems are centralized. Credit cards, payment processors, all of these things are controlled by whatever company controls them." Fun fact, the official time zone of Ripple is Central Time. Let's talk about perks. Speed, XRP can be sent from person to person in a matter of seconds. Security. Because XRP is centralized, it's not really vulnerable to a 51% attack. Though you could argue that that's incoherent since the Ripple company controls all the Ripple. Ripple is a 51% attack. Hot take. Nonetheless, hackers have cracked XRP before, but you can really just attribute that to exchange security. The protocol itself does not appear to have been hacked. Ripple's strongest unique feature is RippleNet. While many cryptocurrencies exist as a reaction to banks and against banks, Ripple is really excited to tell you about its vast institutional support. Ripple's support is unquestionable, but many in the crypto community have claimed that XRP isn't really necessary to facilitate these transactions. RippleNet's connection to XRP is tenuous. It's a volatile cryptocurrency, and it's not necessary for huge capital transfers by banks, one of its supposed utilities. It's extraneous. XRP-aneous. I regret that. Sure, the Ripple company is strong, but if XRP isn't really necessary for the system, then it's really just kind of a branded crypto put out by a payments company. If you look at it this way, and you could view this as a good thing, XRP is less of a cryptocurrency and more of a security, a stock that represents the health of the Ripple company. For crypto purists, that's no good. You might as well argue that skunks are a cryptocurrency and they represent the overall popularity of stink. Note, I'm being strictly metaphorical here. Under US law, XRP is totally not a security or a stock. but there are people who disagree with this status. But for the practical among us, the reality is that the Ripple company is healthy. They have vast resources and tremendous backing. They're one of the biggest fintech companies in the US. Plus, unlike a lot of other cryptos, Ripple is pretty useful. I mean, zooming out a bit to the XRP ecosystem, the reality is that most cryptos aren't really upgraded by their companies or by banks or some third party. It's usually supported by independent developers. Are there seriously independent developers who want to work on a pre-mined, centralized coin like XRP? Actually, yeah. Now, it's tough to gauge exactly how many devs are working on any particular cryptocurrency, but one site, cryptomizo.com, aims to do just that. It consists of a GitHub commit repository of 247 cryptocurrencies, based on their most popular repo. Repo is like where all the code is. It's a little tiny code house. Ripple ranks 75th on CryptoMiso's list. In terms of socials, Ripple boasts almost 1 million Twitter followers and a subreddit with over 214,000 subscribers. Some refer to the community as the XRP Army. At one point, XRP actually got a lot of attention because if you tweeted anything like XRP or Ripple, a bot would automatically reply to you on Twitter. I like to call this time period the time when I had friends. I miss you, Ripple bots. Bottom line, Ripple has many users, and it's an institutionally driven company worth a lot of money with a lot of money, and a lot of XRP. It's safe to say they're not going anywhere anytime soon. If we look at Ripple's flaws, we find a very similar but distinctly different coin, Stellar. Stellar began in 2014, created by Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb. Whoa, this guy is prolific. Now, there's some debate as to why exactly he left Ripple, but inferring from Stellar's differences, I think paints a pretty clear picture. Jed wanted a more community-oriented, open-source coin. And instead of working with banks in the legacy financial system, Stellar is more oriented toward helping the unbanked. Stellar's roots began with $3 million in funding from Stripe, the biggest fintech company in the US today. For their investment, they received 2 billion lumens. Stellar, like Ripple, began with 100 billion coins. Since, however, Stellar has made headlines because they burned half these things. At present, 30 billion of the Stellar are retained by the Stellar Development Foundation. As per the organization's foundational mandate, all of those lumens will eventually be used to enhance and promote Stellar, or to pay taxes as we do so. This money is going to direct development, ecosystem support, use case investment like new products, user acquisition, and an enterprise fund to support Stellar projects and companies. And the rest toward things like dev support, currency support, and marketing. And if I had any say over it, a giant jellyfish aquarium. Who doesn't like to watch the wet trash bags of the sea float gracefully? Much like Ripple, Stellar is a pre-mined cryptocurrency, but its differing philosophy, foundation, and execution have led to a generally different perception from the crypto community. That said, Stellar, by merit of its centralization, which is just like XRP, still reaps many of the benefits. Speed. Stellar claims that it can handle over 1,000 transactions per second that execute instantly. Security. Stellar's security is a little bit rough. In 2017, a hacker reportedly minted 2.25 billion lumens out of thin air. That's a pretty big breach, but look, it only happened once. Take it for what it is. Kind of a big deal. Stellar has also fallen prey to exchange and wallet hacks, but it's not really relevant to the security of the protocol. Stellar's price history follows a pattern among many altcoins. A massive spike in late 2017, followed by a dwindling thereafter. Stellar's price peaked at around 87 cents and nowadays hovers between 5 and 10 cents. Stellar's features revolve around its central value claim. It's an open network for storing and moving money. Unlike Ripple, Stellar's goal isn't really to work with banks, but rather to help the unbanked. Despite this, Stellar actually has some pretty legit institutional support. For instance, the National Bank of Ukraine uses Stellar. Stellar also has a relationship with IBM that has been pretty fruitful. Here's a quote from Jesse Lund, former vice president of IBM Blockchain. It turns out, with the traditional global payment infrastructure, it's actually more efficient to stuff $10,000 in a FedEx envelope and FedEx it. So we built a system, WorldWire, on top of the Stellar protocol, which is tailored and tuned for the transfer of value and for the store of value through the issuance of many different types of digital assets. Stellar's popularity in terms of social media isn't quite up to Ripple. There's less capital, there's less institutional support. Still, the upside is hard to ignore. Stellar has committed developers and a strong mission statement. That's a big deal. And the fact that that's led to less hangups from the crypto community at large is also a perk. It's important to note that both XRP and Stellar fit the bill for something called the lead pipe model of cryptocurrency. Here's Maddie Greenspan to explain more.
Let's say that you have a long lead pipe. You have John on one side, and he's trying to send an ounce of gold to Sarah on the other side. So John sticks the gold into the pipe, and as for this inside of the pipe, the lead pipe is worth whatever the lead is worth, and the gold, the 1 ounce of gold. Right? As soon as Sarah takes the gold out the other end, she's basically extracted the value from the network. So John put the value in, Sarah's extracted it out. All you're left with is the lead pipe.
This is in big contrast to other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Cardano. These currencies have either more store of value traits like Bitcoin, or for Cardano, a much more robust set of use cases. Cardano began as a project in 2015. In Cardano's Why Are We Building Cardano?, they say one of Cardano's goals is learning from the nearly 1,000 altcoins by embracing features that make sense. Cardano's philosophy aims around correcting problems with the cryptocurrencies of the past. Because of this iterative approach, some people have deemed Cardano a third-generation cryptocurrency. Cardano's unique selling point, though, is its emphasis on academia and researchers. Unfortunately, no matter how much Cardano you buy, you won't get like a graduate degree or a doctorate, so your mom still won't be proud of you. Just letting you know. 2 bullet points from Cardano's Why Are We Building Cardano? They plan on using small groups of academics and developers competing with peer-reviewed research, heavy use of interdisciplinary teams, including early use of information security experts. Funny, I'm actually a peer review expert. That peer sucks. On What is Cardano? It said, "This is the first blockchain project to be developed from a scientific philosophy, and the only one to be designed and built by a global team of leading academics and engineers." Cardano is all about that science. Girolamo Cardano, if you haven't heard of him, wow, are you not familiar with 16th century polymath? Loser. For real, his Wikipedia page says, a mathematician, physician, biologist, physicist, chemist, astrologer, astronomer, philosopher, writer, and gambler. One thing he was not good at, answering the question, what do you do for a living? Do I have 4 hours? No. Unlike XRP and Stellar, Cardano's distribution was more open-ended and investor-driven. The distribution of ADA was done in 4 stages from October 2015 to January 2017, described summarily as a pre-launch sales event, which makes it sound like JCPenney's or something, right? Roughly 31 billion ADA were distributed during this time period, and 20% went to the 3 entities that control Cardano. And that breaks down to about 8.5% of ADA accounts controlled 90% of the Cardano wealth, but it does appear that Stellar and XRP wealth concentration is among the highest. Considering that Ripple is a for-profit company, while Stellar and Cardano are not, I give the ultimate nod to ADA in terms of distribution. Its key stakeholders have less ADA, and hence, the growth of the cryptocurrency will benefit more people more broadly. Features. Cardano claims to be the first blockchain implementing a provably fair proof-of-stake consensus algorithm. Cardano's features are and will be implemented as separate layers. According to them, this gives the system the flexibility to be more easily maintained and allows for upgrades by way of soft forks. The settlement layer handles transactions. A computing layer will handle smart contracts, and Cardano will eventually support dApps. Criticism around Cardano revolves around the fact that a lot of this just isn't done. In 2018, Maddie Greenspan wrote, "This exciting network is more of a collection of philosophical principles and computer scientists than a startup with a product." It appears that even now, Cardano is struggling to materialize some of its more advanced defining features. That said, Cardano is making headlines, and lately, its price is pumping. It's got a pending update called the Shelley update, and there's a lot of hype around it. They say that Shelley will make Cardano 50 to 100 times more decentralized than other large blockchain networks. In the last 6 months, Cardano has enjoyed the largest percentage gain of these 3 coins. Our very own Guy Hirsch attributes this to Shelley as well. While some say that Cardano is living up to its expansive promises, others take a more sobering angle. CoinDesk reports, some cryptocurrency investors see the Shelley upgrade as little more than an opportunity for Cardano to hype itself. They cite Mustafa Al-Mashida, VP of Secure Digital Markets, who reduces Cardano's price action to another case of buy the rumor, sell the news. Not to be confused with buy the rumor and sell it as news. That's the New York Post business model. Some Cardano criticisms, other coins already have proof of stake and it's already implemented and working, like Tezos. And in terms of smart contracts, Ethereum is much farther along, plus it has a bigger user base and much higher market cap. That said, you can just as easily see these as indicators that Cardano is young, which it is, and therefore has a lot to gain. Cardano's commitment to research is beyond doubt. Kraken reports, Cardano and its associated companies have published more than 60 academic papers outlining its technology, inking partnerships with global universities in the process. Speed. ADA is very much in the same league here as XRP and Stellar. From what I was able to glean, the transactions only take a couple of seconds, so it might not be as fast, but it's as fast as we would reasonably need it to be. Security. Cardano, like Ripple, has been prey to numerous exchange hacks, but the protocol itself remains uncompromised. Community. Charles Hoskinson, Cardano founder, said that Cardano is, quote, the most cited of all of the peer-reviewed coins. In terms of independent developers, Cardano fares the worst of the 3 coins. It's 104 on cryptomiso.com. Future. Cardano's future is unclear. But if you're into the academic side and the research-driven side, I think it's not debatable that Cardano is executing on that aspect of its promise. What remains less clear is how much it will actually be able to execute all of the exciting features and technology it promises. Academia isn't exactly known for its productivity. It's kind of known for taking a long time to do things. So, who wins? Tell us in the comments below. I would, but that's investment advice, which is illegal, and I'm already wanted in 7 states and a Canadian province. By the way, you can buy all these cryptos and more on eToro.